The door slammed harder than I meant it to. Mom didn't flinch. She kept stirring her tea like nothing was happening, like she hadn't just told me she was selling the country house. My house. For your sister, she said, voice flat. She's pregnant now. She needs her own place. My father sat beside her, silent, a coward in a cardigan. He wouldn't look me in the eye. She already picked the apartment, Mom added, smug. In the city, new floors, a balcony. I didn't say a word. I just nodded, once. And that was the last time they ever saw me as the obedient one. They bought that country house when I was 11. It was supposed to be our escape. Trees like cathedrals, a lake that swallowed sound, winters with a silence so complete it felt holy. I kept it alive after they moved out, painted the walls, fixed the roof, paid the taxes. They never lifted a finger, not even when Dad retired. Not even when Lena, the golden daughter, dropped out of college for the second time. She was always the fragile one. Lena needs help. Lena's going through a lot. Be patient with her. She needed help? Apparently, I was the sacrifice. The betrayal didn't happen overnight. It never does. It started with quiet whispers behind doors. Legal papers shuffled when they thought I was asleep during our last holiday. Then came the call I wasn't supposed to hear. Mom forgot to hang up. She doesn't even use the place. Might as well put it to good use. Put it to good use? Like I was a squatter? A placeholder? My sister laughed on the other end of the line. She'll cry, but she'll get over it. I didn't cry. I did something else. I sold it before they could, quietly, cleanly. Paid the penalty to break the joint ownership clause. Bought out their share through a friend who posed as the buyer. Cleaned the deed, restructured the title under a new LLC. The paperwork took 10 days. The new owner? My ex-boss, retired military, paranoid, armed, loved surveillance cameras more than people. Told him it was a high-risk handoff, offered him the property for a steal if he agreed to lay low and never answer unknown visitors. He grinned, said, I like the quiet ones. They think ahead. 2 weeks later, Dad broke in. He thought it was still his place. I wasn't there when it happened, but I got the footage. Dad smashing the side window with a rock, climbing through like some washed-up burglar. Dust in his lungs, sweat soaking through his polyester vest. He crept into the kitchen, expecting silence. Instead, a voice came through the speakers. You have 5 seconds to explain yourself. My ex-boss stepped out of the hallway, calm, pistol drawn, safety on. Dad stammered, This is my house. It's not. Dad looked around. The walls weren't mine anymore. Gone were the family portraits, the chipped mugs, the photo of him and Mom on the boat. Instead, security panels, steel locks, cameras in every corner. Then came the line that broke him. The girl who used to live here, she sold it, legally, fast. Said her family tried to gut her out of it. I don't do drama, but I do respect ownership. My father didn't speak. He just sat on the floor and stared at the wall. I watched that footage 3 times. Not out of joy, out of necessity. I needed to feel it sink in. The reversal, the silence where his arrogance used to live, the weight of consequences sitting on his chest. A week later, Lena called me. Her voice wobbled, the victim again. How could you do this to us? To us? I didn't answer. She screamed. Mom said it was already agreed. I painted the walls. We were counting on it. Her words were acid, but meaningless, because I knew the truth. They never asked. They decided, and they thought I'd swallow it. Mom sent a letter, handwritten, said I'd disrespected the family, that blood should come before property. I wrote back, "You traded blood for entitlement the day you sold my place in your head before you even called me. You gambled with my silence. You lost. There's peace now, not the happy kind, the honest kind. Lena still lives in their guest room. Baby on the way, no apartment, no balcony. Mom doesn't call. Dad never mentions the break-in, but he keeps the security footage on a flash drive. I know, because he sent me a copy. No note, just the file. Just the moment he realized the world had shifted, and I was no longer the quiet one in the corner. I was the one who struck first and disappeared without apology. Some homes are made of wood and stone. Others, made of boundaries. Mine, unbreakable now.